Hello everybody, welcome to this week's video, another in the 100% full marks exam answers series. We're looking again at a AQA English Literature Paper 1 Section A answer sent in from Weeably High. Thank you guys for sending this in. It's a fantastic full marks answer. We're looking at just one paragraph and trying to break down what makes it so good. So this is the answer on the screen. The student was analysing at this moment the presentation of male aggression in Act 1, Scene 1. And I've typed it up so we can see a little easier, but you can see the examiner awarded 5 ticks, 5 things worthy of credit in this paragraph alone, and we're going to look in detail at a couple of those. You put a comment in the comment section for what you think the other ticks were awarded for. It is significant that Shakespeare opens the play, when we first meet the constructs, with a prime example of male aggression. It presents it as a key part of this Baronian society and is further portrayed as significant throughout the play. The recurring theme of violence and the need for dominance between the male constructs, particularly those in the Capulet family, permeates itself throughout the play. The first scene, Act 1, Scene 1, opens with the lines, "I will not, quote, carry coals." This colloquial term meant to bear insult. Therefore, Shakespeare's employment of the phrase immediately highlights the importance of honour and the need for male aggression to obtain it in the play. Okay, so just a couple of things I want to talk about today. The first thing is this opening idea of the significance of structure. So essentially what this student is saying is, look, the play opens with an example of male aggression, and through opening with this, it shows how important it is to the entire play. And this is actually a very clever structural analysis point, because if you think about it, when we look at a play, it's the same with a novel, perhaps with a poem, you could ask yourself, why do things happen in the order they happen in? Why, in this example, does Shakespeare decide to start Romeo and Juliet, or to have the first, actual scene of the play? Of course, we've got the prologue, but to have Act 1, Scene 1 contain a fight. And that's what this student is starting to explore, the idea that it's setting it up as a key theme which will be returned to throughout the play. That is the significant point of starting with this as our opening moment. So this is very much like AQA English Language Paper 1 Question 3, where you're analysing structure. The student here thinking about not what's happening, but where it's happening and why it's happening there. So why this example of male aggression at the beginning of the play? And I think this is a lovely bit of analysis. The second thing I want to talk about is the context analysis, because I think context, and I talked about this in another video in this playlist, is sometimes misunderstood. On the one hand, it's only worth 6 marks, so students kind of think, well, do I not need to write much about it? But on the other hand, you do need to analyse context all the way through the different levels of the mark scheme. And really, I think the best approach is to say, look, if you're making a point of analysis that is answering the question, and you can bring in a relevant contextual factor that is not just a bolt-on of let me just tell you something I know about context, but is actually relevant to the question and is answering the question, then you should do that probably in every other paragraph. I don't think we would go so far as to say you need contextual analysis in every paragraph. And of course, there's no hard and fast rule here, but this is a lovely example here of the analysis of context that was credited as level 6. Now, what do you need to do to get a level 6 context analysis? Well, the key thing for me, you don't just explore the contextual factors, but you actually have a specific link between the context and the task. So this student was writing about the presentation of male aggression, and they've just got a little bit of context in there explaining what the somewhat archaic term carry coals means. This colloquial term meant to bear insult. So just explaining the context of this phrase, which to a modern audience we probably wouldn't understand the meaning of this. It's not something that is translated to modern society. We don't use that as an insult now. So there's the explanation of, look, contextually, this is what that term meant at the time. But this isn't a student who's just showing off that they know what something means. No, they're using it to specifically highlight or address the point of the question, the point of the task about male aggression. So they're saying, okay, given that that is what this phrase meant at this time, in this context, therefore, as we see at the end, Shakespeare's employment of the phrase immediately highlights the importance of honour and the need for male aggression to obtain it in the play. So with context, context is such a wide term. It doesn't just mean what was going on at the time. It can mean lots of other things. You can talk about genre as part of context. So you could write about the fact that this is a tragedy and that's the genre of the play and how does it stick to the tragic conventions. That would come under context. But here the student is saying, okay, contextually, let me just explain what this phrase meant and then tell you why that is important in helping us understand my answer to the question. And that is a great example of contextual analysis. Now you can see that the context point got a tick and the structure point got a tick. What I want you to try and work out in the comments section, perhaps do this in class or at home, whatever, put in the comments section why the other bits got a tick, what's so good about them. And do remember to pick up a copy of my guide to English language and literature. These are available in paperback on Amazon, ebook at mrbruff.com, Kindle edition on Amazon, and will really help you with your studies. At the time I'm making this video, there are 381 reviews on Amazon of these books, so you can read through those just to see if you think they'll be useful for you. Thanks for watching, and please do subscribe to the channel.